And welcome back to this week's edition of Dispatches from Shed Quarters. I am Mike.
And I'm Jason.
And we're joined by Alexander Keese.
Hey, cheers.
Well, I know. I don't know. How high are you today?
No, I'm not. No green prism this week.
Okay.
No.
I whatever you want to do, man.
No, not this week. No. But it did go better than I expected. It was more enjoyable than I really was expecting listening back to it.
I was gonna say you can't remember.
I couldn't remember a lot of it
because I remember getting a couple of those texts. Dude, what did I say? Do we have to do it again? I'm so sorry. It's like it was fine, man. It was fine.
Yeah. No. After I've actually listened to it twice. So
okay.
just to really get the feel. Okay, am I happy with it? Like, that kind of thing. Like, is it something I'd want to revisit? And you know what? It was pretty fun.
You like that one?
I did.
All right.
I think there's a place for that on this show. And not all the time.
No.
Maybe once a month kind of thing. Maybe something like that.
Special occasions.
Yeah.
Days that end in Y.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It has been intimated to me that maybe I need to get high with you.
Well, I say what you will. I think there was a bit of a contact high going on. Not maybe a little bit. Not fully by any means, but I could see a bit of a difference in your demeanor.
I was just having a great time, and it was fun.
Well, I know you like fucking with me, so.
Well, I know. It's like, here's an opportunity to take this to a different level. And I said, Jason has taken himself to a different level, and now I have to step up my game and figure out
keep up with the Joneses.
How I can fuck with Jason when he gets all fucking blazed.
Oh, please! It's not that hard.
Next time. Okay, there will be a next time.
Absolutely.
There's absolutely no doubt about that.
Yes.
I will have to have proper snacks.
Well, no, I wouldn't go that far.
Well,
because then it'll end up being a half an hour of just
ASMR.
Ooh, stoned ASMR.
Stoned ASMR.
I wonder if that exists already.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Like I said, it would not surprise me in the least if
most of the ASMR people out there that eating food, that is, for ASMR, most likely.
I did see a thing. There was on YouTube. Follow this one girl, and she's just like a reaction to the news kind of thing.
Okay.
And she posted a video the other day of. She found a video of, or a channel on YouTube of a girl that has quit her regular day job because she makes so much money off YouTube by videotaping herself eating McDonald's. This is the worst.
I know.
It's amazing.
That's the aspect of it that really pisses me off.
Because this is something, and she's not really, okay, not really a air quote hot chick. It's just a normal girl, and she just sits there and she eats McDonald's.
I refuse to believe there's not something sexual involved. Like, I know she's not trying to be.
Oh, of course
but it has to be somebody with weird fetishes that are just attracted to that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Because I don't get it. We got into this conversation Friday night, the other night, about watching certain things like that. Like Crystal watches that one little Asian girl that just eats mounds of food, and I don't get it.
Yeah,
because Xander watched something similar, and he didn't like it's not something he regularly watches. Yeah. But he's like, I don't see the draw, and you're right, I don't either.
Well, there's something out there for everybody, and everybody's got something. Everybody's got their own kink.
Yes,
and somebody out there is going to put it out for consumption. Mm-hmm. Somehow, some way. If you got this, if the one thing that really fucking floats your boat, you're going to find it because somebody put it out there.
Yep.
This is just one of those things where I was just like, she's eating McDonald's, and she's now become internet famous and rich for eating McDonald's.
Yep.
I'm in the wrong line of work.
I know.
This
is the shit that pisses me off when I watch.
I can't fault anybody for doing it, though.
Or Twitch, some of those Twitch people. That,
yeah. There's videos of people on Twitch getting huge donations. Have you ever watched any of those compilations?
Yes.
I'm just like, I need to start a Twitch
I've also seen a bunch of them where they think they're getting a huge donation and it ends up being like some kid who's trying to use his mom and dad's credit card.
Yeah.
And so that comes, I've seen that sort of stuff too.
But. Yeah, I did watch one where the guy ended up, somebody donated $20,000 to this dude, and he stops what he was doing and he goes, okay, I need to verify this. I'm going, shit, yeah, you do, because if this is just some punk kid, but he went through the whole process of verification that the money was transferred and everything else. He goes, somebody just gave me $20,000.
That's crazy.
And I'm just like,
that's crazy.
Just mind.
I don't know what's sadder, the fact that somebody donated it to him for probably doing next to nothing.
Sitting there playing video games on Twitch.
Or the fact that somebody just has 20 grand to just throw away like that. Wow.
That is a weird philanthropy, I think.
That's the only way to look at it.
Throwing out that kind of cash to just some dude on Twitch playing video games, and they're going like, here, okay, you entertain me. Here's $20,000.
I honestly don't. I can't say I don't, but I also don't see much of the draw of watching Twitch users. Like, I can get it sometimes when they're fucking around in a game and messing with people, trolling and whatnot.
Yeah,
that can get kind of fun sometimes. Yeah. But when it's just them playing a game, like, I don't see the point, especially the ones that get super cocky. Now, I get a kick out of those ones. I've watched a lot of those Twitch fails. So they're playing a game and they're acting all hot shit, and then poof, they're dead for stupid reasons or something. Like,
or they get caught cheating and they get instant
I've seen
ban.
A couple of those.
That's fantastic to watch a dude melt down. And everything that he's
many of them end with them smashing their keyboards, smashing their chairs.
Makes me happy to see that.
Those are the videos that first drew me in when it came to that stuff.
What was
there was one guy I can remember. Now he wasn't video gaming at the time. I don't know if that's what he did, but he was. He went to a restaurant. Mm-hmm. And he was live streaming while he's in this restaurant, and, it's like a little bistro type place or something. Pretty sure in LA somewhere, and they were people watching it. Mm-hmm. I guess were trying to mess with him or whatever, and they started calling the restaurant and making complaints about him.
No way!
And the owner came up to him and said, "Okay, you got to go. You need to leave right now because you're drawing unwanted attention to this restaurant." And he flat out says to the guy, "I'm connected with the mob. You're drawing unwanted attention. Get the fuck out." Yeah.
Well, that's one way to get somebody out of your restaurant.
He ran in a hurry.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
He's like, okay, I'm gone.
You want me to go? See ya.
I don't think he said a word for like 5 minutes as he got like 2 blocks away.
Running.
Okay, it's safe now.
Well, that is a good way to get somebody's attention right off the bat.
Yep.
And wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of a better way to get somebody out of your restaurant.
Yep.
Because you called the cops, big deal. Fuck you. Oh, you're with the mob.
No, we didn't call the cops.
Cops aren't going to be here until after. Oh. In that case.
Yep.
See ya.
Yeah.
So, have you gotten over your post-production blues?
Well, it takes time. It takes time. Still coming down from a good show and all that, you know, a little bit. But it's starting to creep in. Like, okay, I gotta do something. I gotta start looking at the next. I gotta start moving ahead with the projects that I have in my head that I want to do. Things that I need to get back on track.
The void needs to be filled.
Yes, exactly.
So,
well, first off, I'm catching up on a bunch of my shows and stuff that have kind of fallen apart because I was like 4 weeks behind. So almost caught up.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me.
My stories.
I got to catch up to my My stories.
Which one's yours? Riverdale.
Riverdale.
That's right.
My inner tween girl is just realized that Thursday passed and I didn't watch the newest episode. I know. I've been stuck watching, not stuck, but I've been watching the Jack Ryan season 2.
Okay.
And
I've got to
really
watch that
dig
show.
that series. It's a really good series.
I haven't tried to watch it yet.
Yeah.
But I really, really want to.
Give it a good honest watch.
Wrong show.
Oh, shit.
Still counts.
Still
But yeah, that's one I definitely will get into soon. Probably. Yeah. I'm thinking I'm going to binge that once all the DC, the Crisis on Infinite Earths is all done.
Started yet?
The Crisis itself is December.
Okay, so they're warming up to it
right now. Yeah, there's the build up where I think we're about halfway there. Batwoman, I'm just getting through it, but there's been no connection whatsoever.
No.
Okay, but they will pull her in eventually. Supergirl, I don't think has either, and it's I'm just pushing through it. Arrow, however.
Oh, yeah?
Directly leading to it because when last season ended, Ollie left to go work for the Monitor to prepare for the Crisis.
Okay.
What they're doing on Arrow is brilliant to me because he's a little bit of universe hopping.
Okay.
Because he went to Earth 2 in the first episode and whatnot. What we're seeing along the way, this is Oliver Queen and in turn, Stephen Amell saying goodbye to all sorts of different actors and characters because that's kind of what he's doing in the midst of this whatever missions he's on for the Monitor.
Yeah.
He's like in Earth 2, his mother was still alive, his Tommy Merlin was still alive, got stuff like that, so he got to say goodbye to them.
But it's not really them.
Not his.
Not his. Yeah.
But it was the same actors and whatnot. So I think it's kind of it's the character saying goodbye, but it's also the actor saying one last goodbye to these people that
I got you.
To me, that's brilliant.
That's a guy that's got creative control and he's using it well.
Yeah. Now he has I think it's a movie. Stephen Amell and his brother Robbie Amell, who's also been on those shows.
Didn't even know he had a brother.
I think, Robbie Amell. I think they did a movie together recently that's either just coming out or coming out soon kind of thing.
What's that one called?
I can't remember. I saw one ad for it quickly. And
hold on a sec.
To the IMDb's.
Yes. So keep talking.
So yeah, loving what they're doing with Arrow. And Flash is building it up really well too, but that's in a different realm where Oliver has accepted his fate because he's supposed to die, or at least the Monitor has witnessed his death. Okay. And he's accepted that and is doing what he has to now. The Flash has also been told that in order to end the Crisis, the Flash must die.
Yeah.
He's come to grips with it. No one else will.
Okay.
Everyone else is struggling with that concept.
Stephen Amell, Amell.
Yep, that's it.
There it is.
So that's a different side of that same path, different side of the coin, if you will, between Arrow and Flash, all headed in the same direction. Really good writing. It's really working for me.
Flash, Arrow, Heels TV series pre-production. Code 8.
That might be it.
He plays character Garrett.
Does it also show Robbie Amell in the cast there?
1 second. Yep, there it is.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, so Code 8. A desperate young man possessing special powers clashes with a militarized police force after committing a petty crime, based on the short film.
Oh, it's two of them together, which they didn't do a whole lot of on Arrow and whatnot. I think they might have crossed paths once. If that. Okay. So I'm curious. I'm a fan.
Come to think of it, I think I did see a trailer for that. Didn't stick.
I saw it
deep
once.
In my memory.
I saw it once, and I just know it's both Amel's together, and I'm like, okay, I'm curious. I'm
cool. That's cool.
So, yeah. Huh. So I'm almost caught up on my stories, and I'm happy with that.
Now you got time.
Now that I got time.
Works good.
Watched a couple movies last night to because I haven't watched a whole lot of movies. Then I watched 2 fresh movies last night.
you did?
So yes, I'll be.
I did see. Was it the Never Ending Story?
Well, that was just on TV yesterday morning when I got up.
Steph was pissed.
Because that is probably the most heart-wrenching scene from my childhood.
Yeah.
It stuck.
I can't remember the last time I saw that one.
Oh, it had been a while for me. So
what was the one I was thinking it was? Dark Crystal.
Nope.
Yeah, that was the one that I've watched recently.
Okay.
But
I haven't revisited Dark Crystal in a very, very long time.
It was something
But
else.
it was never one of my favorites.
Really?
No, I lean more towards Labyrinth over Dark Crystal.
Labyrinth is good too.
Yeah, and that's one I do want to watch. I have not watched it in a very long time, and I do want to revisit that.
Yeah.
So, did you know there's also been 2 sequels to Neverending Story?
What?
Well, it's based on a German novel.
Okay.
The movie, which, deviates somewhat, but not a whole lot apparently, is only the first half of the book.
Really?
Yes.
I had no idea.
They made 2 sequels in the early 90s, I think.
Were they German language?
Well, no, they were all filmed in Germany, but I don't think they're German language. But it's not the same cast.
Well, they kept
There's too much time for the
quiet.
cast,
Yeah.
I seem to. I don't think I've ever seen them, and I think I maybe remember seeing one of them on a shelf somewhere, like at Blockbuster or something at some point. But
I wouldn't even know what they.
yeah.
Huh. Okay.
But there are 2 more movies after
sequels.
Neverending Story. There should be a lot more though. It's a Neverending Story.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
Yep.
That ends on such a down note. Oh, wait till the next one. But yeah, that's cool. No, I had no idea. But that's cool.
So yeah, Crystal went out last night on an impromptu ladies' night out thing with her paint crew.
Okay.
The lady she does her paint classes with.
Yep.
So I was home alone, and I'm like, nah, I kind of felt like just vegging at home.
Being by yourself for a while.
Yeah.
You've been hip deep in people for the last month.
Kind of, yeah. And and like I said, I've been missing out on movies and stuff, so I need to build up the repertoire for the Madhouse podcast and find something to write about.
You have things that you responsibilities.
Yeah. So I don't want to get into them too deep, but I watched Super 8 for the first time. J.J. Abrams, Steven Spielberg.
That one, yeah. I don't think I ever did see that one.
I finally did. Okay. J.J. Abrams definitely, because there's lens flares everywhere in that movie.
There's that.
That's, I think, where the lens flare gimmick started, was that movie.
That one, yeah.
Because there's a lot of it.
It's just
like a lot of it is unnecessary lens flare.
Yeah, any lens flare is unnecessary.
Well, I think in certain small doses, like Star Trek had a couple that I think worked really well for it.
Well, okay, I think JJ got lambasted for all the lens flares that he was doing and putting in his movies.
And Super 8 was one of the worst ones.
And then that's when he got onto Star Trek. Everybody's going, "Oh my God, this is going to be nothing one giant lens flare." Then I think JJ went, "Oh, fine."
He had a couple but again, I think they worked in that sense because of where they were.
Yeah.
Super 8 has them, and it's just unnecessary.
Nah, it's just like,
now, I did enjoy Super 8, so it was pretty cool. I could definitely see the homage that they were going for to like Close Encounters and E.T. and whatnot, so could definitely see all that.
Those are 2 I have to watch, and I haven't seen in a long time, but I should probably give.
Now, which version of E.T.? With or without the guns?
With the guns, the original, the only version. That
I know it's the remastered Star Wars all over again.
Crazy. And somebody had posted a picture of the original VHS, not the original, but like the theatrical version VHS tapes of the Star Wars, and it became an impromptu bidding war on people commenting. And I think they're like, "No, this is."
I have
my
a
collection.
box set of the THX remastered, not where they added stuff, just where they cleaned it up.
Oh,
I have that, and I checked to make sure.
Yeah,
I wanted to make sure. I checked the first one because we have one working VCR in our house. Or at least they did have. I don't even know if they still have it upstairs, but I was able to check it when I bought it. I bought it at a yard sale.
Yeah,
I put in A New Hope. Oh, it was zip forward to the cantina scene. Han shot first.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
Well, it was
He's
changed for the
always
special edition, so I wanted to make sure.
No.
I had to make sure, and no, Han shot first. So.
I am an OG Star Wars nerd.
That's right.
And Han shot first.
Yes, he did. Oh, he was a scoundrel.
Yes. And fucking Greedo had the drop on him.
Yep.
So it's not Han's fault that Greedo wasn't fast on the trigger. Mm-hmm. Han shot first.
Yep.
Actually, Han defended himself. He felt threatened.
Yep.
So it was justified.
Yep.
So.
Amen.
Yeah. Thus endeth the rant. So.
And the other one I watched, I'd heard about. It came out a couple years ago. It's called I Think We're Alone Now. It stars Peter Dinklage.
Uh-huh. Short film.
No. No, he's a guy who apparently in this world, this is where there's a lot of details not given.
Short on details?
I'm stealing that one.
Okay.
He's appears to be the only survivor in his town from some sort of event.
Oh.
Everyone died, and from what you gather, what little bit they get into it, or what you see, everybody died instantaneously.
So it was a short death.
So he's the only he's the only one alive in his town, and we don't know how much time has passed. It's just this movie picks up. There he is entering a home, and he goes in. He finds any bodies. He wraps them up in blankets or shower curtains, whatever. Yep. He takes the bodies and he buries them out in a field, and he cleans the entire house. Like, he cleans the house. He takes some pictures of the people because he keeps a collection of the pictures
from bottom to middle.
Boom. Jeez.
You didn't see that one coming down,
no,
did you?
I didn't. But he cleans the entire house.
You can use that one too.
And then leaves it.
If you're going to steal my material, take it.
And then one night, there's fireworks going off nearby. Oh. And he goes searching because he hears noises the next day. And sure enough, he finds there's a young girl, like a teenage girl, maybe a little older. Yeah. And she crashed a car. And she's unconscious.
Who set off the fireworks?
Her. It must have been her. She's the only one he finds, right? Mm-hmm. Movie progresses. He doesn't want her around. He tries to get her to leave.
Kill her.
He's enjoyed his solitude. No, he doesn't carry weapons. He doesn't. This is the first other person he's seen since whatever happened.
But he's just said he doesn't enjoy people being around.
Well, yeah. Well, he's come to accept his isolation, so he doesn't want her there.
Okay.
But she ends up sticking around, and they start to bond a little bit. But there's more to the story.
Of course there is.
Because she's from a place where there are more survivors.
No.
And she didn't tell him that at first. But in the it was good. There's a lot of gaps, a lot of plot holes that you kind of fall into.
Logic leaps.
Logic leaps big time. Yeah. But acting wise though, it's Dinklage, and it was Dinklage on point. He was excellent.
How old is this one?
2 or 3 years at best.
Oh, okay. So he's like right in his Game of Thrones prime of
definitely.
Look at me, I can act circles around everybody, some kind of things.
Yep.
Cool.
So I enjoyed it. It wasn't great by any means because there's a lot of plot holes and some gaps. Oh, another actor in it who shows up late in the movie, Paul Giamatti. In a very interesting role.
The devil?
Not quite.
Oh.
Not a nice guy, though.
Oh.
Deceptively. It's
half devil.
It was a good flick.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
All right. So. That's cool. No,
wrong podcast for that talk.
Well, no. We can talk pop culture. Yeah. We're nerds.
Yep.
Well.
But I would be remiss if I didn't steer us in this direction because I kind of hijacked things a bit last week with the whole Green Prism.
I know what you're talking about.
We need to discuss your return to the ring and what happened in Hamilton.
I won.
You won.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh.
Give us some details. Tell us the stories. Regale us with your tales, oh wandering warrior.
I hurt my neck and chest. It's because I'm old. Rusty.
You didn't stretch, did you? You forgot to limber up, did you?
Said I popped 4 Alpha Brains and a Monster Energy drink, and I went, good to go.
Yeah, because that's the answer.
Well, it's an answer to a question, not the right question that was asked at that point in time, but it was an answer to a question. Good show, really good show. Is at the Steelworkers Center in Hamilton, small hall, and I think it was 185 people sold out. That's it. That's capacity. 185 people.
Wow.
So, crowd was hot the entire night.
That's key.
Yeah.
The crowd's got to be into it.
Yeah, they were glad to see the GWM boys back.
Okay.
Because what was the last show? We figured out about 2.5 years ago.
That long? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I would have put it at under 2 years. Wow.
Nope, 2.5 years.
Wow.
And the response was amazing. They said when they finally said, yeah, we're going to do this again, people went, okay, take money, please. And just went out there. Who opened the show? That was, I should have wrote this stuff down, but good matches. Five matches on the card. Tim Copeland took on Rune Main for the heavyweight title, and he ended up capturing the title from Rune Main. Congratulations! And in the process, broke 3 ribs.
Oh, ouch!
Yeah, that was a painful thing. I teamed up with Bam Bam Giovanni, one of the youngest members of GWN. He came around when he just turned 17, 18 years old.
I think, yeah, the one time I got to come up to Hamilton there, he was there, and I think he told me at that point he was really fresh, really green.
Yeah. So he did it. He did it the way you're supposed to do it. He come around and he was asking everybody, "Can you teach me how to wrestle?" And everybody, to the man, responses was, "Fuck off. No, go away. You're too young. Go to school. Do something with your life. Fuck off." So he did not get that discouraged about that. He kept coming back. He kept coming back, and he kept coming back. Finally, somebody said, "Fine, get in the ring." And I think it was Danger Boy just beat the fuck out of him. And they're going, "Well, here's our smallest guy. Why don't you take him on in a match?" And Bam Bam's going, "Oh, well, what could go wrong here? My friend, you are about to get a lesson." But
meet Danger Boy, who's legitimately wrestled around the world.
Yeah. So I teamed up with Bam Bam. We went up against Alexei Krushkov and the bully Pat Muldoon of the House of Igor. And I had a simple plan going into this match for myself because I knew how old and out of shape and rusty I was. I'm going to keep it very simple. Mm-hmm. And basically, we just beat the little fuck out of each other for 20 minutes. And it was hard hitting. It was so very easy to get a good reaction because Bam Bam is now a firefighter. And his company came to watch him wrestle.
Oh, that helps.
It was so easy. Like we're standing.
Okay, that's a plant. Come on.
Yeah, look, like I said, you bring you bring an entire fire company, you're going to get a good reaction.
Yeah.
So we're sitting in the back. The entrance music hits, and I'm standing there looking at him. And Bam Bam looks at me. He goes, "Well, when do you want to go?" I'm going, I'm not going out there first. They didn't come to see me. So he goes, well, when do you want to go? I went, now. And like, he goes out there and the roof came off that building. And I'm just like, this is going to be such an easy night.
Yep.
So we went out there and
Bam, give as good as you got.
oh yeah. They said we were all.
There's one picture that got posted. It looked like he might have been hitting a knee strike on Muldoon. That was a good shot.
Yeah, that was. I can't remember who took that photograph. I think it was one of the fans. I know exactly what you're talking about because it looks like Bam Bam's just murdering Muldoon with that knee, and I'm walking out the other way, and I'm just like, I look back. All I remember is I hear there's a smack, and I see Muldoon's head snapping back, and I went, good. All right. As long as it's him, not me. So, great reaction. Great reaction all the way around. Everybody had a great time.
Anyone else suffer any major injuries?
Not debilitating, not hospital worthy like Tim did.
Okay.
But it was just a matter of everybody's just rusty.
Right.
And nobody really did anything up until that point in time to try and get ready for a show, which in hindsight, we all should have tried.
Yeah.
We knew months back we had this coming up, and nobody goes, I'll wait till, I'll just wait. And it was just one of those things where it's just,
but it all came together. Yep. Nobody got seriously hurt besides those couple little mishaps there, but nothing super debilitating.
Tim's 3 broken ribs.
That's pretty bad. Yes. But that's not training related or anything. That was probably just oops, right? Misplacement.
It was.
Or would you blame ring rust for that?
Yes, to both.
Okay.
So it was just one of those freak accidents that happened. It was just an elbow was in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
And said Tim came down on it, and it was like instantaneous. You could see it on the tape where I think he hit a crossbody off the second rope, and he instantly grabs his ribs.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, he's hurt. So it was just one of those, just shit happens. Just bad luck. And he said he just, on the car ride home, it was just like both of us just chewed up.
Ow,
yeah.
ow.
It's like, don't hit too many bumps. And I'm not really trying. And I'm trying to get home as fast as I can.
Speed bump. Oh, no.
The worst part about that was I was scheduled for overtime on Sunday morning.
Oh.
So we got home about 2 o'clock in the morning, which then turned into 1 o'clock in the morning because of the daylight saving time or back to regular time. And I dropped him off. I go, hey, let me know how things go, if you got to go to the hospital or anything like that. And he goes, yeah, talk to you later, brother. So I grabbed some food because I was hungry. I came home and I was eating my tacos. I'm like, I have to go to bed. And I laid down, and it just, sleep wasn't coming.
No.
I was like, fuck. So 2 hours of sleep, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go in for my shift. I'm just like, it's going to be a long goddamn day. Between my neck and my chest and zero sleep, it was just a brutal Sunday for me.
Well, you're still kicking now. Here we are a week later. You're looking a little more spry than last week.
Oh yeah, they said I'm a little less damaged, which I miss the good old days where I could bounce back from something like that within a day or two.
I don't know if I ever had that ever in my life.
Well, I think it was Brent texted me. He goes, "How you feeling?" I said, "This hurts, and this hurts." He goes, "Wow. You and Copeland's pain tolerance amazes me." I went, that's the name of the game. You have to be able to take this stuff because if we were on a schedule like somebody that actually was like a full timer, you don't have time to recover.
No.
You're constantly in pain.
That's, the WWE, I don't know what their schedule's like now, but used to be a meat grinder.
Yeah. They used
5 days a week.
Yeah.
With travel in the mix of all that.
So it's not as bad as it was back in the day for them, but it's just if you do like 3 shows on a weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're gonna need the rest of that week to heal up.
It makes me think of being the Elite when Matt Jackson had the problem with his back. Like that, he worked with that for months, and then was finally able to get a few weeks off that went miles for his recovery.
Yeah, this is if you're a full timer, you do not get the opportunity to heal up as well as you should to be able to perform at that level. Now, that's just the nature of the game. Mm-hmm. So, as for the show from, I would say, a management perspective, they were very happy with the show. I know the people from the Steelworkers Union, they were extremely happy with the organization of GWN, getting everything set up, having everything like professional.
Yeah.
Everything was professionally done. Like I said, they were happy.
No freezer lids got dented?
No. The building is still in one piece.
No holes in the walls?
No. They were, like I said,
no ceiling tiles got kicked in a flip or anything like that?
No, actually,
I've seen videos of that.
because it was kind of a short building, there's nothing can be done from the top rope.
I did see that roll. Yeah.
And you can't go over the top rope because, again, if like an errant leg is going to go flying through the air, you're going to catch a ceiling tile.
Okay.
So all top rope stuff has been banned in the GWN for now.
But didn't somebody break that rule?
It was not me, so I was your...
well, I wouldn't expect you up there anyways.
No.
It's a whole lot of beef for gravity to be fighting against.
Nope. I said, way back in the day when I was much younger and not rusty, I've done stuff off the top rope. Not a huge fan, but it looks pretty spectacular and...
there is something to be said about a big man coming off.
Yeah,
the top,
yeah. I think the most spectacular thing I ever did, nobody ever saw it.
Yeah,
it was in training. I was working with Danger Boy, and we were doing a match in the training hall. And Shooter goes, "Okay, finish has to be from the top rope. Mike, you're winning." We're like, "Huh?" And we're just like...
You're thinking in your head, time to bust out my 450?
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. So me and DB were going through the thing and said we finally figured it out. And I put DB on the top rope. I climbed up, picked him up. So we're both standing on the top rope. And I hit an over-the-head belly-to-belly suplex.
Okay.
So for me to do this correctly, I had to just huck DB as hard as I could.
Just a sack of potatoes.
That's about it. So I end up just taking a flat back bump from the top rope.
Right.
Just bam, right in the middle of the ring. And all I hear is, ow. And I look over.
Yeah, if you landed in the middle of the ring.
Right. This is where DB is now tangled up in the turnbuckles
on the
opposite side of the ring. So
wow,
what had happened is I threw DB, took my bump. DB hit maybe a foot in front of the turnbuckles and bounced into the turnbuckles, then bounced back out of the turnbuckles. And we're both lying in the middle of the ring just like, this is a terrible idea. And Shooter's going, you still have to pin him. So I slowly crawl over and I just gently lay my hand on DB's chest. And they're like, 1, 2, 3. And then DB kicks out at 3. I was like, really? You can't give me that, huh? But it was... Nobody will ever see that. And it was...
That's where you're whispering at him, if you kick out, I will legitimately kill you.
Yeah. We went through a lucha libre kick as well when I was training. We did a bunch, like we just
now
tried
this
to
is
do
something
different
I've never heard before.
No, because it was a fucking disaster. That's why. So we were trying to go through all the different styles of wrestling, and we focused mostly on Japanese strong style, that Kings Road stuff. So, well, not all the time we're going to be able to wrestle this kind of style. So we started to throw some lucha into the mix. So we're going on and on. DB is standing on the outside. He goes, okay, Mike, hit your tope. And we're like, huh?
What?
He goes, hit the ropes, run back, just dive through. Okay, if you don't know what a tope is, it is a dive in between the top rope and the middle rope. And if it's done well, it looks fantastic. If it's done like I did it, it looks like somebody just chucked an anvil in a fridge and then tried to throw the fridge with the anvil in it in between the ropes.
I've seen videos of that sort of thing with a husky dude trying to do that and his feet get caught and he ends up face planting basically on the end of the mat. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Didn't look like you, but...
Oh, no, because I go, tope, huh? So, yeah, DB's on the floor. He goes, all right, run up, put your hands on the rope, push them down, and just kind of pull yourself through. All right. Run over, hit the ropes, dive through, put my hand on the second rope, push the ropes down, kind of pull myself through, and my feet hook the ropes as the rope bounces back up. And it kills all forward momentum that I had, and I pivot down, and I smash my chest on the apron, and then fall unceremoniously onto the
Not
floor.
on the apron. That's the hardest part of the ring.
It is always the hardest part of the ring.
Every time.
Every time. The ring itself could be made of feathers, but that apron, hardest feathers on the planet. So I hit the ground, bam, right at DB's feet. He goes, "Great, do it again." I went, "Nope." Nope.
I can taste my spleen now.
Yeah, so
no.
That's not going to work, DB. Not going to work for me. He goes, all right, it's probably for the best. I went, yeah, you think? So we had a lot of fun.
I could picture you attempting to try and do an acai moonsault.
No.
But it ends up looking just like a coffin drop.
Yeah, or I do like get a shitty rotation on it, and it's like head first right into the mat like a lawn dart.
Like Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Yeah, just like that. Because
Joe Rogan looked up that footage on one of his podcasts that I listened to recently. Not a recent episode. I think it might have been from a few months ago. But he actually heard about that, and like whoever he was talking to mentioned it, and they looked it up. Oh, and it's like, oh my God.
Yeah. Should be dead. That just tells you how superhuman Lesnar is.
Yeah.
Or was back in the day. He not doing that kind of shit.
No.
But
apparently he used to do that in OVW.
Yes. And the problem with that is in OVW, they use steel cables for ropes.
Okay.
WWE uses ropes.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Really. If you look at the ropes on the Raw ring, it's just like manila rope or whatever tape.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So he was used to the spring and the bounce he could get off of the cable ropes.
Right.
So when he tried it at WrestleMania, like he had hit it in practice,
Yeah.
but practice is not 3/4 of the way through a match when you're tired and sweaty and blowing up. So
Not to mention the end of a night where those ropes have probably loosened up a bit from the entire show.
exactly.
So yeah,
So that was a disaster just waiting to happen. But it was it's an impressive sight.
when I think of big guys doing
Vader.
high flyers, Vader.
Yeah.
But I go to because we both saw this at the same time. Although we were in the same building, but we weren't together. It was at the KBD Hall for might have been a WrestleMania or some WWF pay per view in Toronto. Rikishi off the top of a cage,
Off the Hell in the Cell
off the Hell in a Cell. That's right.
into the bed of the truck.
I remember we could feel the tremors here.
Yes, that was one of the ones that's just like, this is a terrible idea.
It was Rikishi versus Val Venus, as I recall. I think.
Which just boggles the mind when you put those names together, like Rikishi versus Val Venus in a Hell in the Cell, and just like
Rikishi had been pushing 4 bills, right?
oh yeah,
Yeah, and
easy.
yeah, I remember watching it. No, and it hit, and I could have swore I felt tremors.
Yeah,
because they were in Toronto.
Yeah, like I said, they made it as safe as they could for him, but still,
Yeah. Yep.
from the top of the 25,000-foot steel cage. Hyperbole. It has to be.
Yeah.
It's all to the bed of a truck. I think.
I think they
was.
called it 30 feet, but from the inside of the ring, it's actually closer to 20 or something like that.
Yeah, he said you're at best the top of a ring post is usually 7 to 8 feet tall. The top of a ring post
From the floor.
from the floor.
Okay.
So your ring posts are 7 to 8 feet tall,
Okay.
and then if you put a cage on that, you're looking at maybe another
8 foot.
10 feet.
Yeah.
So you're looking at, we'll generously call it 15 feet
Okay.
from the top of the cage to the floor,
Right.
because your cage is on the apron.
Right.
That's where you start your measurement,
Right.
not the top of the cage. So we'll call it 15 feet.
Okay.
And that's still too stupid high to be falling off of.
Yeah.
So
Especially when you're that size.
yeah. But the only thing that worked well for that is he got paid so much money
No
to
doubt.
do that.
No doubt.
So that's said the green takes the pain
Is
away.
he still alive?
I don't think
I know he
so.
was on the independent scene. He was briefly in like Impact or TNA Wrestling, whatever it was at the time.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen or heard mention of him in a very long time either.
Well, let's find out. Is Rikishi dead? Died December 4th, 2009.
Really? That long ago?
He's
Damn.
the older brother of Eddie Fatu, who died, December 4th, 2009.
Huh.
Does not say why. All right. Yeah.
But
yeah.
okay.
Rest in peace, Rikishi. Crazy bumping motherfucker.
Yep. Yeah, for a guy his size, he was so agile.
Yes. Yeah. Well, all the Samoans, they're all family. They all came up into the business together, and they're all just super athletes.
Yeah.
Just super athletes.
Even when you're the size of Rikishi, still being able to flip and move like he did. That always baffles me to see that. It's like they're defying physics.
There's a lot to be said about being able to do pro wrestling well and being trained, and the right ring helps a lot.
Yeah.
Because the WWE rings were notoriously hard, so you could get good push off of it.
Okay.
For like flipping and stuff like that. Now they've added some spring into it after the the Mick Foley through the Hell in the Cell. That it was not the fall to the announce table that fucked him up. It was the fall through the cage to the mat.
Yep.
That's what did him in.
That's where his tooth comes through his nose and shit. Yep.
That's he goes, it would have been better falling on the floor. That kind of thing. So it was just one of those things. Yeah, the wrestling rings are and aren't as easy to fall on as it looks like.
I remember helping you set up your ring back in the day, and you had that big spring.
That helps.
Yeah.
That helps a lot.
Now-
But it doesn't take away. You're still bumping on steel and plywood.
I remember going to a show in Forest, Ontario. The Forest, FWF, Forest Wrestling Federation.
Florence.
Was it Florence?
Florence.
Dresden way. I thought it was Forest. Okay. Well, anyways, I can remember going there. Their ring was a trampoline with old mattresses underneath it.
Yep.
And then they had posts with ropes
Yep.
attached.
Yeah.
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 That I don't think that was very hard to land on.
No. No. That was a definite point of contention growing up in
Well, that was
the business.
that was a backyard fed.
Yeah. And
Now, that backyard fed has given us one star at least.
yes. Well, that backyard fed made Eric Young.
Yes.
And Eric Young, he took what he started with that FWF, and he did not think he was at the peak of wrestling where he was at.
Right.
He knew that he had to do better wrestling in real promotions.
Right.
So it was a way to start his name, and it was a way for him to get his foot in the door in a lot of promotions.
Because he probably did pick up a few of the fundamentals.
Yeah,
You would hope. You'd hope they would.
You accidentally learn a lot of stuff, but he was just not. He was driven.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wanted to make this his living, and he ended up doing that. He's doing it right now.
Yep.
So he knew, if I start on this trampoline, I'm going to be nothing but a backyard kid. He had to get away from it and get into more legitimate promotions, which he did. And his career is now taken off.
He's one that I'm really hoping someday he does a memoir.
It would be interesting to see where...
Not just because of the local connection. I just feel like his career has an interesting path that...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Especially with him going into like TNA and then getting a TV deal.
And the comedy, he did a lot of comedy wrestling, and now he's like a legit badass kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know.
So it'd be interesting to see how it goes. Yeah. So
do you think GDUN was going to come back? Do you think this is going to be a resurrection, or was this just a one-off?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I honestly don't know. Because I heard both things that day. And it's going to happen if and when it happens.
Right.
And either way, I'm fine with that match being if that was my last match, I'm okay with it. If it wasn't, I don't know where.
Well, you still have to find that rat bastard that jumped you.
Yeah, I know. We'll be fine.
One of the commentators, of all people.
I know. I know.
Stay behind the microphone, you little weasel.
He just. Like I said,
He ain't a little weasel.
No, he's not a little weasel. And he said when he did jump me, when CK Savage jumped me afterwards, I really wasn't that surprised.
No?
No. I figured
Bad blood there?
we had unfinished business from 4 years ago, roughly. I would guess.
This is
4 years.
CK Savage, formerly known as
Scourge. From Revelation.
Right.
Yeah. So unfinished business with that. And I don't know, when he showed up to do commentary, I was just like, interesting. I haven't seen him in a while, and all of a sudden he's coming back to do this. So I am not overly surprised that the attack happened. Now
let's find out why he jumped you. Come on down! That'd be cool, but
no. Yeah, that'd be something. I'd have to let the dog out of the dining room.
Chomper 6 balls.
Oh, get him.
So I for one, I hope that this is a return. I'd like you to, because I know you've been missing that, and you would like a little bit more. You've told me on a few occasions that you feel like you had just a little bit more that you'd like to give or maybe do. Or
when I went back 2.5 years ago, we did those couple shows 2.5 years ago. I had made the conscious decision to try and make it as best I can. I give it all my effort, and then whoop, out goes the rug from underneath you. And just kind of like, well, damn it. And I felt unfinished business.
Okay.
And
you need just a little bit more for a little bit better closure.
Yeah, that's if this is the closure that I think it is, I'm okay.
You're okay with it now?
Yeah. Huh? I'm okay with it because I went in.
But you're not averse to doing a little bit more if you get the opportunity.
If my phone rings, I'm not going to not answer it.
Okay.
That kind of thing. So I'm I don't know where it's going to go. And to do, I have to get ready, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But how hard do I have to get ready for something that I don't know?
Yeah, unless you know for sure, is it worth the effort?
Exactly. So there's different levels of effort in how I'm going forward with my health. Mm-hmm. So there's let's maintain, and then there's let's get into wrestling shape.
Right.
And those two just do not line up at all. Mm-hmm. So it all depends.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
I, for one, I hope, because I wasn't able to see this one, I hope you have at least one more in you, and I can experience.
I put the link up for you.
No, but I want to be there.
Oh, okay.
I want to be there. I'll bring my sign, my old Team Tap Out sign that I still have.
But
doesn't matter if it's not Team Tap Out. It
still counts.
It still counts.
Okay.
It's still real to me, damn it. I love that NWA Power has that guy do, he cut that promo.
Yes.
That's fantastic to me.
That was that dude right in the heartland of old school wrestling. That is the people that make the wrestling industry what it is.
Yep.
And like I said, it's still real to me, damn it. Okay. Everybody knows. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the curtain's been peeled back.
Yep.
But there's people out there, they go to the Avengers and they go, the Hulk, the Hulk just punched the fuck out of Thor. Nah, not really.
Right.
But you suspend your disbelief for the amount of time that you're there. You enjoy the show. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people out there still enjoy the show.
Yep.
So,
and that's where, like I said to Kenny Omega in London, watching New Japan, watching him and the Bucks, and getting that, it made me like wrestling again. Because WWE has kind of lost that in a lot of aspects.
Yeah.
Their product is not the same,
No.
and it just doesn't have that. And so that's why I don't watch their stuff.
No.
I want quote unquote realism. And I get that more with New Japan, with All Elite. And I know I have not watched their pay-per-view. Okay. So I'm trying to avoid spoilers, but did you see Dynamite last week?
Yes.
Cody's promo.
Yes. That promo.
Stellar promo.
Yeah. He channeled his dad
Oh, big time.
to cut that promo.
The
And
emotion,
Yes.
the heart.
Yep.
Just so fantastic.
And then juxtaposed against Cody's promo is Jericho's
Oh, fuck.
video package.
Yep.
I was in tears. I was laughing so hard. That was so brilliant.
Yep.
So brilliant. To take Cody's video package and then just flip it.
Yep.
And I just like, brilliant.
That's
absolutely
Jericho.
brilliant.
That's what Jericho has been a master of for a large portion of his career.
Soul Train Jones.
You give him anything.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to turn it and sell it.
Yep. Yeah.
And I harken back to WCW.
Well,
Goldberg had the entourage. He had Ralphus and the Jerichoholic Ninja.
awesome.
Like, and it worked.
Yeah.
The crowd started to love to the point where Ralphus actually became a thing for a little while.
Well,
Like,
okay, you said when it first came out, it was so ridiculous. Just such a ridiculous premise. Everyone's going like, "What is this?" And then Jericho believed his own bullshit long enough to make it work, to make it to make it real.
But it's what he did it to parody Goldberg. But he threw in a little bit of Spinal Tap in there.
Absolutely.
Because they got lost a few times.
Jericho is being Jericho. He can't not have music references in
Yep.
everything that he does. So to do the Spinal Tap homage, that's fantastic.
Yes.
That's Jericho. That's what he does. So,
And here we are, 30 years from that point,
yeah.
still gold.
Yeah, me and Jericho are the same age.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We're both 48.
Wow. Where'd you go wrong?
I don't know.
Because you did not include your own version of a Ralphus or a Michaelholic Ninja.
I know.
See, you were missing those. That's the X factor you were missing.
God. So much.
I could have been your Ralphus.
So much I've done wrong.
I could have been your Ralphus.
Where did my life go wrong?
Oh, here we go.
Would you rather?
Oh, here we go.
Would you rather?
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
I've been, and I might have asked you this before, but I don't think I've ever asked you this on microphone. And I've always been curious about this.
All right.
I don't know what to call it. Your infatuation, religion, if you will, with the Norse mythology.
Religion.
It is a religion.
Faith.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. I assumed as much, but I don't think I'd ever. But where does that stem from? Where did that all come from? Did you just pick that up at some point, or is there more to it? I've always been curious, and I figured, you know what, this is a good place to ask.
Growing up, we were never really overly religious. We would do, like, my mom would take us to like the big holidays to the church, like Easter, Christmas, and stuff like that.
I went to Sunday school as a kid.
Yeah,
Like,
it just was never really our thing, our big thing.
my parents weren't churchgoers at all.
No.
But
Like-
I went with cousins and whatnot. We went to Sunday school. And I did brigades, which is like the church version of Boy Scouts.
Yep.
I did that up until, I don't know, grade 6, 7, like whatever the top you could for that.
Okay.
There was no senior level. The brigades was your preschool, and then like basically high school was like, they called them sentinels, and there was no sentinel troop in Chatham. So my brigade stopped at that point. But that's the extent of my churchness. Like, I've never been much of a church guy.
Oh, okay. No, like we never really were either. Growing up, I said I've always read, and I'm a voracious reader. So I kind of exposed myself to different thoughts, different, like, just reading everything I could get. Like, I lived in the library, and then just finding weird books and different ways of thinking and stuff like that. Flash forward, we were probably pushing 15 years ago. I stumbled across a bookstore, the Mystic Bookshop in London, like was one of my favorite places.
Heard of that place?
Yeah. So we would go down there and I would look at the different books of like magic and witchcraft and different faiths and different things like this. I started to read up on this. Like it was one of those things where there was the void kind of thing. Like there's something not in me that that void needs to be filled. So I started to do the research on like paganism and Wicca and just all the different.
I went through a brief phase of that sort of thing too.
Yeah,
but I didn't stick with it. I didn't delve too deep.
No, I see with what I found, I'll say Wicca was my gateway drug to this. So getting involved in Wicca and stuff like that, it just didn't feel right. Just like me and that, just the gears didn't quite mesh. But because of that, I had exposed myself to different religions and faiths. And then I stumbled upon Asatru, which is Asa is the Oz is the Thor is the Aesir. These are the Norse pantheon of gods.
Okay.
And that when I started to get into like deeper meaning of that, deeper reading of that mythology, I was like, this is it. This is it. This is the stuff that fits. The more I read the old sagas, the actual history of the Icelanders, the Scandinavians, and the old Germanic tribes, I'm just like, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to land. And that was 12, 14, 15 years ago.
That's it? I would have thought that was longer.
Because it was, I ran into an old friend on like seeking information. I found a group in Chatham, and I thought, well, they were talking about having like a coffee social get together kind of thing. I went, all right, I'll bite. I go there, and it just so happens to be a friend of mine that I'd known from years past that we just grown apart. Everybody like does the thing where they go off on their own way. So bumped into her, rekindled that friendship, started to get more active in the heathenry and pagan scene. And it was just like, all right, this is where I fit. This is how I am now comfortable, and this is filling up that space inside me that I needed. And I've met great friends, and it's just one of those things where, Shecky, shut up, I'm going deep. It's just one of those things, or like, I didn't fit with Christianity or anything like this, but this was like hand in glove kind of thing. That's when I started to dive into it.
I just always wonder where that came from. I didn't know if that was like if you like ancestrally or something, like you know much about your family history, that sort of thing.
Yeah, ancestrally, I did a was it Ancestry.com, like one of those DNA tests.
Okay.
As far back as they can discern, I've got some Germanic, Scandinavian blood, English, Scot, and Welsh.
which all makes sense.
Which makes me a Western European mutt of. So I'm like right there. I'm a northern Western European.
You in some sort of a genetic level, you could be distantly related to like Ragnar Lothbrok after he invaded the England. Something along those lines.
There is something.
That kind of thing is what I'm
like.
for.
My last name, Lutz, is an Austrian name. It is a mutation on the name Ludwig.
Okay.
So wherever that chemistry happened, where Ludwig became Lutz, is Western Germany, Austria area. Okay. So right smack dab in the middle of all that. Well, I said, I still got my blue eyes, so I hung on to that part of my genetics. So
and such pretty blue eyes.
I know, isn't it though? So
you just get lost in those eyes.
I know, I do. I look at myself in the mirror, and go like, "You fucked up your entire life. What's the matter with you?" Oh, but your eyes are great. But no, it was. Is there like there's a term called epigenetics where they talk about where somebody who's never ever seen a snake in their life is scared of snakes because somewhere down your ancestral line somebody got scared by a snake, and that imprinted snake's bad kind of thing. So there's a weird thing called epigenetics that might or might not exist. So it's just one of those, like, everything could have changed, like, come out differently. It's just a matter of this is where.
Well, that stems down to look at the odds of you being you. You know, right from a genetic point, your parents had to meet all that stuff, and then everything. You know, you are you, and you are 1 in a billion kind of thing because there's no other like you, you know, that sort of thing. It comes down to that sort of thing. Yep. So we all share that in some way, shape, or form. I have no idea about myself. Like I know my ancestrally, family wise, French, Irish, some mix like that. Yeah. But I don't know anymore. I've never done like the ancestry thing. I've never done the.
There was two friends of mine, two sisters. They were the one that put the bug of ancestry, doing the DNA testing in my head, because we were at another friend's house and they got email notifications that the results came in, and there's like open. Let's learn. Let's take a look. Like they went, can we do this on our own first, so we're not completely freaked out?
Right.
And
yeah, because you don't want to open that up with people around and find out that you're related to something that
exactly.
Could be, what? We mean my great uncle is Adolf Hitler? What?
So they came back, and their sisters, they are 2-3 years apart age-wise. Their DNA results could not have been more different if they tried.
Really?
They're both Dutch, and they have similar levels of
exact same parents.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just that when you get into DNA, what genetics you get, like my brother and I, genetically, nowhere near. I'm more genetically akin to my dad, whereas my brother is more genetically akin to my mom's side of the family.
Look at my kids. Xander, dead ringer for me.
Yeah.
Tally is a dead ringer for Crystal's dad.
Yeah. That's when you start mixing up that genetic soup like that, you don't know what you're going to get until it just comes out 9 months later and just like, well, that's a surprise.
Why is our baby black?
Yeah. Crystal?
Crystal.
No, it was you, Jason. Like,
I take the ancestry, find out I'm like 1%.
oh, there was a good video. I can't remember. It was a British talk show or something like that. So there's this one dude, a massive racist. So they had him fill out do one of these DNA tests.
Oh boy.
He's like, you've got to be racially pure and all this, that, and the other thing, blah, blah, blah. His results came back. He was 30% Northern African. There was a lady there. There was a black lady there. She howled with laughter. And I'm just like, fuck this guy.
That's great.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of great DNA reactions. If you go on YouTube,
I might have to fall down that rabbit hole.
yeah, there's like some of these ones you're just like, huh, all right. Like there's a friend of mine, she got hers done and she lives in Windsor. And she was going, oh yeah, my results should be here soon. And there was a bunch of speculation. There was like a speculation pool of what her genetics was going to be. And then she got her results and went, oh, nothing.
She blew up the brackets?
Blew up the brackets. She just like strapped dynamite to everything. Just like, nope, none of this counts. So it was amazing to see. Like there were some things, but not at the levels of expected.
You would expect higher Western European, and
Right.
she got higher something else.
Right.
Okay.
So it was fascinating. It's just a fascinating look at what
Someday I
can
might
happen.
do that. A little bit of me
Yeah, if you
is a little curious.
yeah, there's
I'm sure I'm pretty generic in my ancestry, but you never know.
you never know. Like the
All it takes is one freaky one night stand way back in the day, right?
And all of a sudden you're part Transylvanian. Or
Yeah,
something
who
like
knows?
That. Yep. It's weird stuff how the DNA just kind of works its way together.
Mm-hmm.
And the ancestry one is kind of surface level. I think what is the other one? 22 and Me or
23andMe.
23 and Me goes a little deeper.
Yeah, you get like almost like a small pamphlet book kind of thing of information there.
I might be interested in trying that experiment too, just to see the differences between Ancestry and 23andMe, just to find out.
Now, in lack of a better term, in their defense, Ancestry was kind of like the first publicly known one.
Yeah.
So technology's probably changed and whatnot. So maybe they've upped their game since then. And
I'm not constantly, but I will get occasional updates from Ancestry.
Oh, really?
They've fine-tuned testing.
Okay.
We've got more of a sample database to compare against. So my results kind of tweak every once in a while. Like when I first got my first results, it was like, oh, look at me. I'm like 30% Viking on all this. No, geez, what a surprise. And then the results, they fine-tuned the results. And they went, nope. Well, you're pushing you more towards England.
Okay.
And that kind of thing. I'm just like, eh. And it was funny. They had one of the FAQ questions was, he goes, but where did all my Viking heritage go? Kind of like, this is like one of the whines that they would get from some of the people that they like this. And the response from Ancestry was like, we understand that you probably already have your Norse tattoo, but sometimes the testing
is in one of the FAQs, is it what percentage of African allows you to say the N-word?
That would be zero.
I don't know if they had an answer there.
That would be, you're not allowed at all.
You're better than 30%.
Nope.
No, nothing like that.
Oh,
Okay.
why don't you ask Sean and
What?
ask Sean Brown?
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Ask him.
No. No.
Ask him.
No.
Better yet, ask DB.
No. But no. I'd sooner ask Shooter right now because I could probably run away from him.
Yeah, that's probably a better choice.
Since his ankle got shot with a bazooka, I could probably run away from him.
Yeah, no, they're half black.
Oh, I knew that from the back in the day, but
no, it's much safer.
Yep. I was always curious about that. And,
like,
yeah, I know. That's what keeps bringing it to mind. Looking at the books.
The majority of those books are
tattoos, and you post the rune things. You used to do the rune things every morning, and
that was just a helpful thing for me to focus on, and it's something I should probably get back into.
You gotta find those things where you can, right? Whatever helps you.
Yeah, this year has been. I keep going back to it. It's probably been one of the most turbulent years I have ever lived in, and trying to focus on some things is just like downright impossible, because it's just I'll start down a path on this one thing, and it's like, that's very insignificant in the greater scheme of things. Like, fuck, yeah, you're right. And then moving on kind of thing. But I can't continually deny who I am. There's a lot of me that keeps thinking about, like, well, I did this. This is who I think I am. And I keep denying that part of myself because I'm having a hard time weighing myself against myself. You know what I mean? And it's just confusing, and it's just something that I have to work through. I have to find the things that make me happy.
I've never really been able to put it to words. I could never describe it, but that's basically how I felt for probably close to a year now. Is I don't know who I am.
Yeah.
That's where my lack of self-confidence, all that stuff, that all stems from that. Because I got things I want to do, and I don't do them because I don't know if it's right, if it's what I should be doing, that sort of thing. It's, everybody struggles with that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. The whole being able to get out of your way long enough to do the things that do make you happy, that's the trick right there.
I can say doing podcasts feels like a natural fit for me. I enjoy talking like this. I enjoy, especially more pop culture related, of course. That's just my wheelhouse. Yeah. But it just feels natural. It feels comfortable for me to do it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I started this one as the personal journal type thing for my own therapy kind of thing. And when I asked you to come in, it was just like, this relationship in this podcast makes this feel so much better.
Solo podcasts are difficult.
Yeah.
I've recorded a couple on my own, my vlog that I used to do.
Yeah.
Talking by yourself is hard. It's hard to stick to a topic. It's hard to make it interesting. Yeah. That's key. If you're going to put this out there, it's got to be interesting. It's got to get people's attention. That's why I did the karaoke thing at the end. I thought at least then maybe the people get a chuckle at that, So having at least one other person as a soundboard, as someone to react with. Yeah. That's key. That's important.
I think I said this before. I can't remember. Probably on this show, but I remember watching a fails video on YouTube, and there's a girl there vlogging, and some dude walks up behind her, leans in, he goes, "You're just not that interesting." And I watched that, and I went, "Well, what the fuck am I doing?"
That's one of my biggest fears doing all this.
Yeah. That
is
huge.
When, as soon as someone says that to me, I can guarantee you I will probably walk away.
Yeah.
Because I will take it that way. I'm not the type that's going to rise up and prove them wrong. I don't think I have that in me.
No. So I thought the exact same thing. When I heard that was the shot across my bow. And it was just like, and it shook my confidence to the point where I'm just like, who am I to think that I can do a podcast?
I'll be honest, doing this with you, and I've probably said this to you before, and I'm not trying to blow smoke, kiss ass, whatever you want to call it. I enjoy this a lot. It's a highlight of my week when we get together to do this. I enjoy this. I have so much fun. I just like hanging out with you, dude.
I agree.
Okay, that's why I consider you my best friend, because we have this dynamic, and it can be somewhat abusive. I admit I'm a masochist in that respect. I've resigned myself to that. If people enjoy it, great. If people listen to it, if it goes anywhere, great. If not, I don't care. I want to keep doing this for as long as you'll have me. Drive it till the wheels fall off. That's why I also like the Madhouse. That's
absolutely.
I get the vent about movie stuffs on a full scale. Have my rants when I need to. Get that out because nobody listens at home. So,
well, okay. I got Mags hooked up to listen to this show now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So she goes, I haven't even listened to the first one. I said, we've done 16. Woman, hurry up.
I'm not even going to, Crystal. It's not Crystal's thing. I've tried to get her to listen to some like Babylon back in the day. She'll chuckle a little bit. It's just not her thing. Yeah. She's not a talk radio type person.
No.
So
see, I think that's the big thing right there. Growing up listening to the radio like we did, that's all we had really was the radio. And us being able to simulate being on the radio by doing these shows is scratching that itch that we probably didn't know we had.
Like I know she was never as much of a fan, but Drew and Mike, Dave and Chuck, Howard Stern. If you're a fan, I could never get into Howard.
You remember Mancal Muller out of Chicago?
I've heard of him. I'm not familiar with him. I could never really get into Howard Stern. There was a brief time where he was available locally from out of Detroit. Could never get into him, but I was a big fan of Drew and Mike back in the day. Wandered over to Dave and Chuck. Followed them when they switched stations and everything, and still a fan. Well, I don't listen hardcore, but I do listen when I can, and and to me, it's the same type of thing. That type of morning show is kind of the early predecessor to podcasting as we know it. Yeah,
and another one that is the Coast to Coast AM. AM radio show used to be hosted by Art Bell, and it's now hosted by George Norrie. Is basically the weird and eclectic stuff. Like they talk. George Norrie right now talks to like people that are experts on angels and imagination and stuff. Like it is the weird and wonderful stuff that we like. Is that Coast to Coast AM show is one of the shows that went. I go back to, and I'm going like, I have it on my phone. They have a best of, and it's just like 10 to 15 minutes of a 4-hour show. And it's just like, give me more. That kind of thing. It's just the weird, awesome stuff.
Joe Rogan goes in that direction. Yes. So that's definitely inspired by. Has to be.
The Rogan stuff is the evolution of the long form conversation that TV and radio couldn't get, just because how things are played out money-wise that way. But podcast now is like, I've listened to a Rogan show. He went 4 hours, 5 hours.
That's one of the reasons why because I started getting into him briefly a few years back. Back when one of Kevin's first times he appeared there, and it was over 4 hours. And I'm like, okay, I can't stick to a 4-hour epic like this. I can't. He trimmed it back. sometime between then and now, he keeps it to like a tight 215, 230 at best,
Yeah.
you know, and that's much more palatable. I can take that.
I think it all depends on his guest because
Well, yeah, scheduling is gonna be a big factor.
scheduling is a big thing. But when he had, what's it? Shit. Can't remember his name. Anyways,
All the ones I've listened to recently, which are all have been with, I think within the last 6 months or
Yeah.
so, have all been at under 230.
yeah. I think the some of the ones like if the information gets really in depth, that's when you start getting your 3 hours. And then if some of the ones like somebody's like gone right off the rails, then you're going to get into the 4 or 5 hour ones, the marathon ones.
I haven't seen one of those in a while.
So fantastic. They get so can't. God damn it! This is going to bug me. But they got so high and so drunk, and they just kept going.
Kevin was on last week.
I did listen to
And
that.
I listened to it, and Joe was, because they
Sober
recorded in
October.
October. Joe was sober, but Jamie wasn't.
No.
So Joe had to take a pee break in the middle, and Kevin's talking to Jamie, and Kevin ended up giving him some of the snoogans, I think. And
Yeah. Well, I'm not sober October.
which I gotta try and find some of that.
I don't think you're going to find that in Canada.
I gotta find it.
Yes, I know.
That's something I'll be looking for on a
Yeah.
road trip.
Jesus. International borders, bro.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I'm gonna have special shoes made with the heels hole.
No. No, you're not. No.
Okay, I'll smoke it there. Outside Kevin's house.
He's not going to be there.
You don't know.
He's on tour.
He stops home for a day or two in the
He's
middle.
not going to be there.
I don't care. I still want to go. I want to go. I know where it is. I've seen it on Google Maps.
And Dave knows exactly where it is.
I know.
I
know.
Okay. If we're going to drive that far,
Then we have to drive that
it
little
would
bit
be
further.
it would be remiss of us if we did not take the extra 2 hours.
And we could turn it into, if we can make a day of it, because he's not far from the Chinese Theater, which is also the Walk of Fame. He does not live far from there.
No.
Like Google Maps shows it like a few blocks.
I'm still very leery about driving through California traffic.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to drive?
Sure.
All right, we're taking your car.
You want to take my shit box across country?
Fine by me.
We won't be able to walk.
I'll stretch out in the back seat.
Good luck with that.
Landon seemed to fit.
Landon's like a third your size. No, a quarter of your size.
That's fine. It's fine. So, would you rather?
Well, sure.
All right. Would you rather
Oh,
have a 10-minute, uncensored, unrestricted conversation with yourself from 5 years ago or when you were 5 years old?
I'm not sure, but you may have just lost a kid.
Uh-oh. I better pause. And find out
Okay,
what's
yeah, you
going
might want to go
on.
check on that.
Well, we're going to have to end this show right now. This is just something came up, but we will we'll be back next week. So for Mike
And Jason.
we will talk with you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.